any country in any time. Number one, KW. You've done really well, Jessica.
Well, this is a very special group. These are all superstars all around the world, which is so fun to work with all of you guys. And yet I am so proud of you guys. Week 1 of the International Recruiting Contest is in the books, and many of you shared your results. And if you didn't, you still have an opportunity to do that. So Sheila will circle back and give you a link. You can put your numbers in if you want to play along. And yet I am so blown away by some of the results, Bill. Portugal, I don't know if you're on the call, 45 appointments set for R0 and R1s and 42 R2 appointments set. Like, what? Seriously, that is insanity. That is amazing. And we got to hear a little bit about that. I'm curious how they
I see a few of
did
them on
that.
the call. I see a few of them.
Okay, good. Well, we need to pick their brain and say, okay, what did you do? Because you're going to beat our pants on this contest otherwise if you don't share. And yet there's so many of you that had phenomenal numbers that, you know, you should all be proud of. They're all really good rhythms that you're in terms of appointments set, appointments held. And so I'm going to reach out to each of you and give you some love, first of all, and thanks for participating. But second, some encouragement, because we are making ripples all around the world, you guys, with this type of energy and effort. And so thank you, first of all, for going all in, because this is recruiting season during the best recruiting market we've been in 10, 15, maybe even 20 years. So although it's really hard to lead during this type of market, you guys are all superstar talent, and we all learn so much from each other. So the week before last, I was really grateful for Alex sharing their unique situation in the UK, and Stephen, for you going all in and showing how you guys had figured out how to give and deliver your first teamerage for a whole year, and sharing your track record, because that's an answer to a lot of us on this call that have a very strong dependent model real estate business that you're competing with. It's hard to talk someone that is a high S profile to be entrepreneurial. And so giving them another alternative makes Keller Williams a great answer. And it was so cool how you guys were able to share that. And I really want to thank everyone for participating. So here's where the brain power shares so that we all help each other. And yet, is Portugal on? Are you guys willing to share a little bit about what you did to hit those kind of numbers? Anyone?
Usually Portugal's not very shy, so I know that
maybe this is very
Veronica
top secret and they
Anna,
want to
I
win
think
the
you're
family reunion
flexible, right?
ticket. They might just want to win that family reunion ticket and be sandbagging on the info.
Oh, I see Duarte too. Veronica, could it be Portugal and or Anna? I saw their faces too.
Okay, well, if they're not, Turkey, Portugal, Honduras, Spain, South Africa, you guys, Germany, you guys had some epic numbers. Is anyone willing to share something they did this week?
I think Duarte.
Carla and Duarte are fighting over who should speak first. It looks like in the chat. So
hello.
Okay, thank you, Carlos, for being our brave soul. You get extra credit.
Thank you. Well, actually, what I've been doing this past probably 4 or 5 months is that I've been in the halls of the office and everything, and I've been talking to all my agents and trying to ask for referrals. I mean, this is one of the best things that I've found, and thanks to you guys also, because it has given me a lot of results. And I'm having all sorts of people. I mean, I'm having R2s, I'm having R0s, R1s, you name it. And the thing is that I've been working with them and keeping in touch with these people that probably they wanted to be with KW, but didn't have the opportunity to or the time to do it at that time, but just kept in touch with them and just remembering that they were there. I put them in my command and just reaching out again and telling them, hey, I'm here. Do you want to talk again? Would you like another conversation with me? And they come back.
You know, that is the ultimate way of being a team leader. It's like collecting people, right? You know, it's having that relationship with your agents. It's taking the time to slow down and actually spend time with them and interact with them in the hallways and in the training room, and making time after the class to be around for a while. So let me ask you this, Carlos, because with that, I know you also spend a lot of time nurturing, right? You're tracking with a lot of people. How many people do you think you nurture in a given month, that you're just tracking with, that you're hoping someday they'll want to join you? How many people is that?
I think probably between 8 or 10, because by the beginning of the month, mostly I have probably 4-7 people joining in the month. So that conversion, it's pretty good.
It's very good.
But I know I have to do a lot of things besides that, and we're trying to make the market center bigger. Right now, I think we're probably hitting 98 this past week agents. I'm very close to 100, and that's my GPS goal for the year.
That's fantastic. Does anyone have any questions for Carlos that they want to ask about how he interacts with the agents, or how he gets this? Or did you have any limiting, what made you one day decide to start doing that versus not do that? Did you have a limiting belief of asking for referrals before you did, or you just didn't make it as purposeful? What do you think is different now for you?
Yeah, I think I'm doing it more purposeful because I'm not a cold call person. I started like that. I started making my cold calls. It's not that I'm not doing them, but I found much better results doing this. And what I'm doing is, if I see them sitting down and huddling, talking about business, reviewing how they're supposed to work with the platforms and everything, I just pop up and sit with them, hear a little bit of what they're saying. And before I leave, I just, hey guys, just remember, we need to make the market center bigger. We need to grow. I need people like you in our team. So if you have anyone, please let me know. And after that, they just send me a WhatsApp and they give me the numbers of the persons they want me to call.
I love it. It's really that simple.
Yeah. Yeah, really.
It really is. And yet, the reason I asked, like, what maybe stopped you from like doing that from the very beginning was, I struggled with starting to ask for referrals because I didn't sell real estate. So I felt like a fraud, like they wouldn't take me seriously. So I struggled with it for a while, maybe even a year of my career. And then I got over it. And then it became my main lead source. So I was just curious if there was anything that would stop you.
Well, just like you, I come from the advertising business, and I'm new I'm very new at the market center. I only have a year and a half with this team, so it took me some time just to gain their confidence and to open the doors. There were some limitations. I don't have an ALC still yet. I'm struggling with that, but one of my goals is to have an ALC. I have them picked up. I've had my interviews with them, so I just hope that by the end of the year, I have to do that, and I know it's going to be much.
Well, that'll be your leverage, because when you think about it, an ALC are people that are excited about you, excited about what your office is doing, and they are volunteering to help. You know, so they're natural born leaders, and that you think about it, just think what your bandwidth could expand to for you if you had them all contributing just that much more, you know. So that's pretty awesome. I put in the chat, you guys, an interview we did on this call, but it was it was in February, but it's Teresa Flood, and she's from Dallas. And she literally walks around the office every day to get referrals. And she's 100% by referral. And she probably gets way more, over the 40 referrals a month. And she shares how she does it. And it's very similar to what Carlos is doing. But if this is something you really want to be more purposeful about, you really just have to start doing it, right?
Right. Yeah. And for limited beliefs, since I was getting used to the system and how it was working, probably I didn't know how to proceed at the beginning. But then when I started with this growth call and everything, and I had, for some reason, I don't know, I just hit the button also and got a conference with Tina Brickhouse. That, by the way, I saw there's a
She's one of the prizes.
yeah, she's one of the prizes, and I had a session with her. I mean, my mind was blowing up when I found out that she's one of the big shots. So we had a very nice conversation. She gave me a lot of information and tips to just do a better job.
Very cool. Well,
Yeah.
good for
I
you,
see,
and you deserve all those wins, right? Sorry,
Thank you.
interrupt somebody.
Oh, yeah. Carlos, can I ask you a question?
Yes,
It
please.
might be a basic question for you, but we start doing the career night with the fee, some small fees. So do you have any experience organizing career night with some fee, or
With some fee?
usually do for free, or
Oh, for
do you
free?
charge for fee? For
No.
registration? No.
No.
Okay.
Actually, when we've done it's unfortunately there are no. It's not at night, so we try to do it in the afternoon. And
I see.
and we try to do it in office hours, so they can be everybody can be at the market center, and they find value in that. Okay.
Mhm.
And my first impression, she calls them up, and we just try to make people go to the office.
I
Mhm.
see.
But yes, but at least we're trying to have at least once a week, maybe once a month. Sorry.
Once a
Okay,
month. Right?
once a month. Yeah. Mhm.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you.
This is all such valuable things that you guys are sharing. And so does anyone else want to add a question or talk about anything? Carlos, I really appreciate you sharing that. You gave a lot of insight to a lot of people.
No, thank you.
And I'm sure people are going to reach out to you. And yet here's the thing. You can lead generate in many, many ways. Carlos has chosen to just be more purposeful to get referrals. And yet that's the best type of lead you can get, because the show rate is way higher. They close much faster.
Mhm.
Let's just say I'm the person that introduced Carlos. I'm going to get involved in the process, so that if someone stalls during the process with Carlos, I'm their agent friend. I'm going to call them and say, hey, let's go get lunch, So it works just better and faster when it comes to recruiting, especially experienced agents, when you can be by referral. And so since we're kind of on that topic, I was just on a call with the Ohio Valley region yesterday about asking for referrals, because team leaders, we think we're going to get them, just like an agent thinks they're going to get them from their database. And they do, some, right? They get some. But when we do the database analysis, we realize that agents have a lot of missed opportunity from their database when they're very entrepreneurial, right? And if we are entrepreneurial with how we want to get referrals, we will have the same result. So it's really nothing different than us acting like a mega agent with their database. Really, if you think about it, it's the same. So the better you are with your own relationships internally and having really effective communication,
Mhm.
the more referrals you're going to get, just like an agent. So think about this for a moment. Think of an agent in your office that definitely gets a lot of referrals. That's definitely by referral. The majority of their business kind of just flows at them. And then think of an agent that doesn't. Okay. Think of their images. Think of how they're different. The agent that gets a lot of referrals is very much involved in relational with their client customer. They're almost friends at the end, right? Whereas the transactional isn't. It's a process. Same with us. So, and some people in the database just don't refer. They don't get involved. Same thing with your office. It's not they're not mad at you or they don't not trust you. It's just, they just don't do it. So when you think about it, if we think of ourselves as a big, big mega agent and our office as our sphere of influence and the MLS or all the agents in your area as your farm where you would market to and farm, that's how simple it is. But we sometimes complicate it. For some reason we complicate it, right? Right. And so, you know, when you think of those agents that get a lot of referrals, the other thing they do is they recognize people for the effort, don't they? You'll see if they have a newsletter, they'll thank the people that have helped them connect with other people. They'll even put it on social media like, thank you, Carlos, for introducing me to Leslie. We helped her buy a home. We're so excited for her and her family, blah, 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 right? So it's the same thing. So you want to recognize the behavior that you desire. And it becomes more of a thing in your office. You become team leader by referral by your actions. And yet if you just wait and hope and wait and hope for referrals and say, hey, you said you'd give me referrals, you joined the ALC, that doesn't work. I'm just going to tell you, that's frustrating too, isn't it?
Right.
So think about that, because Carlos, you're just really role modeling someone that's very active with their immediate sphere, and you've got really good nurture follow-up once you start a conversation with someone, because I'm sure some of these people you've been talking to this whole time, you've been with KW and they're still not with you yet, right?
Right. Yes. There's a lot of people out there. I have them in my pipeline, and I just have them with a couple of stars. I don't know, in the scale from 1 to 10, how probable they will be at KW, and that's how I I sort them out and start calling. Yeah.
Right.
And by the way, I'm from Honduras. I
Awesome.
saw in the chat someone
Yes.
asked where
Pedro.
yeah.
Yeah, Pedro's checking. Probably wants to pick your brain later. Here's the thing is, you guys can all have these referrals. It's just a choice and just being mindful of it, and you know, believing in yourself enough to ask, really. And sometimes we have limiting beliefs there. So if you do, that's okay. It's normal. We're human, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Anyone
All
else
right.
want to tap anything in particular?
All right. Thank you, Jessica.
Thank you, Carlos. So who else wants to go by referral here? Anybody? It's a lot more fun. I had it pretty dialed in my last couple of years because I would do care calls while I drove to work. I only drove 18 miles, which is not far in the US, but it took a whole hour because Florida has horrible traffic. And yet during that time, I could consistently call at least 3, maybe 5 people in my office. And I already knew who to call because it was whoever had a really bad day the day before, if someone had a deal blow up, or someone had their first closing, I was going to call and congratulate them, or something else. You know, there's plenty of things that happen in your office to give you a reason to call someone. So I never not had a reason to call. I didn't go by my alphabet or anything. I didn't make it that complex, but I made the point of calling 3 to 5 people on my way into the office. It was a care call, or I was calling about whatever was going on. And about half the time I'd switch gears like Carlos did and say, hey, who have you been hanging out with in real estate in the field that probably needs some training? Who do you like out there? Or who's impressive? Who do I need to know about? So I'd ask questions like that because they're in the field with agents interacting. And that would get the conversation going. And, you know, I'd ask them, like, could you connect us? Do you know them well enough to connect us? Or if I call them, can I say something nice about that you said about them? Like, what would you say? So I basically enrolled them. I included them in the process without really their permission. I just convinced them to participate, right? And yet some people didn't, but those are the people I knew not to waste my energy to ask. And those that did, and those that got involved in contests and things, were the agents that were raising their hand saying, I'm into this. So just remember, when you run like contests and things, it's a great identifier of who wants to play, who wants to get involved in profit share. And those are the folks, the 30, maybe 10 or 30 agents in your office that you should really focus your energy on, really, frankly. So don't think everyone's always ever going to refer you. It's just like an agent's database. An agent would never expect 100% referrals. They're fired up if they get a 5 to 10% return out of their database. You too, same for you. So just remember who we are. We're like the leaders of the mega agents, aren't we? We're the role model of Keller Williams. We're the role model of MREA. And if you want to be by referral, you can be. It's that simple. So what are your thoughts or limiting beliefs that you're like, not in my country? So let's talk about this. What do you guys think about being focused on referrals?
Jessica,
So
I wanna
Carlos,
add-
Carlos has a 40-mile drive. That's much more time, right? Sorry, I interrupted someone. Who was
Oh,
that?
that was Vanessa.
It's me, yes. Hi,
Hey,
Jessica.
Vanessa.
Hi, how are you?
Good to see you.
Good. I really think it's a great way to do the referrals because you're also building retention in your market center because the agents feel important because you're looking in at them, you're asking them, who do you want to partner with in this business, in this market center, in the area that you're working in, or even who do you want to see bringing in more listings that you can sell instead of
Yeah.
selling outside agencies listings. Yes. So I really love it. It's an easy way of getting recruit referrals.
Well, and you know what? If you call the agents doing deals, you also stay out of the negative weeds of the agents complaining that are always having problems, you know? So just a little tip, if you stick with your co-op or your deals that you're doing and you focus on that, those are agents that are actively selling that are interacting with agents, not someone that maybe isn't showing up. So it's also a safe way to stay out of the weeds and stay in positivity with the people that are actually doing the work, having the wins, and really that have influence, right?
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Thank you for that tip. Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, so it's kind of like the best use of your time. You're loving on the people that are showing up to work and you're making them feel cared for. You may be reminding them of something coming up on the calendar that you hope they slow down long enough to go to. You know, that matters to them and their opinion matters to you, which really feels good to them, right?
Yeah, love that. Thank you.
Cool. And you can really build upon it by just making it the cool kids club, like saying, oh my God, Vanessa is the best. She had an open house this weekend and she gave me 2 people that might want to get into the business. Thank you, Vanessa. You know, that type of recognition is going to make Veronica want to help out and Carlos want to maybe think about it and Leslie be mindful of it. It just creates a little bit of awareness. And for those little competitive spirits, a little FOMO, which, you know, most of us have. If we're in sales, we probably have a little bit of a competitive spirit, right? So, you know, I can't recall. I think Carlos, was it you that said you're close to 100 agents?
Yeah, I started out with 56 year and a half. And yesterday we had our weekly meeting and we're at 98. So we're very close to the 100 and hopefully
I want to share a
be more
really
than
fun idea for you specifically, and you all could really kind of use this in your own country, but because you're close to 100,
okay.
you can really create energy around that you've gotten to, you're getting to 100 agents. Who's going to be the 100th hire, who are the 100th agent? And it's a real fun time to double your office to 200. So when I was new in the team leader role, I was right about at your agent count. And we didn't quite double, but in 1 year, we almost doubled. We went from like 78 agents to like 120 or something like that. It was pretty impressive. But what we did is we called it the Get One campaign. And we challenged every one of our agents to get one person to join the company, to double our company. And it was really powerful. And you can do that with any milestone. If you're at 25 or 50, you could say we could double our office with kind of the Get One campaign. And with the market being difficult pretty much all around the world right now, this is the market that's easiest to recruit in. because agents are less loyal. They're thinking more about dollars and cents versus relationships. And they're frustrated with themselves, so they're more likely to move. So just think about that. That might be a fun little campaign to put in your mind of doubling, because
Yeah.
why not just go right to 200, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Right. But you can't do it alone. But if everyone in your office gave you one name and helped you get one appointment, just think what you could do.
Well, at least you just gave me a great idea, and Ana Castillo is also here in the call. She's
Yeah.
the team leader for Tegucigalpa, and well, probably not 200 in my market center, but 200 in the region,
you go.
Honduras at least. And
Go
so
for it.
we're gonna make it, right, Ana? I think she's there.
You know
Okay.
what? This is just a
I'm
fun
There she
idea.
is. There she is.
Anytime
sorry.
you want to get
Hello, my
momentum,
Hello,
you know,
my name
Anna.
is Hello,
Hi,
my
Anna.
name is Ana Castillo. I was the first team leader from Honduras, the first one with the first rock. And I know it's a really hard job. I was 3 years as a team leader. Now I am taking this goal to make up, to raise up this market center in Tegucigalpa. Is very hard because we are like a zero. We don't have culture. We don't have so many agents. We are only 13, but I recruit 3 yesterday. So I am really happy. I would love to raise and help Carlos to get 200 next year. I hope so. 200 next year. And I know it's really hard, but I am agree with Carlos that referrals are the best thing to do. I had last week this launch, like a special meeting with the new ones, still the new ones in the market center. And I say, can you give me one referral? Can you give me one referral? So I got like a 20, and I full my calendar this week with the referrals. So I am really happy. And today I might sign another one. So I am really happy with the results. Thank you, Carlos, because you told me how to do it again. I forgot so many scripts from the Keller Williams. I had to study again, take the red book, take the one thing, and be focused. I am just focused on my calendar. I do work by the calendar each day. I have all my appointments, and I try to stick in my calendar. So I hope to get the level for my market center too. So here we are, Carlos. Let's
Yes,
do it.
Yes,
Let's
I
rock
know.
it.
And I'm very happy for that. And as I was saying, Jessica, I know with Ana, we're gonna hit that 200 mark for Honduras at least.
Yeah.
Well, just
I will
remember,
do
it's easier to do it by referral than trying to do it alone. And so just
Right.
remember, if you already have 50 agents or 100 agents, to make a major leap, to just say, who's one person you would like to sponsor? And can you connect us? From each one of your people, what are the chances of having, 50 referrals versus you having to do that alone? I mean, it makes it a lot more fun, right?
Yes.
Right.
That's disruptive. Well, we'll see a lot of disruption in Honduras. I have no doubt about that.
Yes.
Any
that
way
will
we
be
can
for
help you,
sure.
we're here.
That will be for sure.
Yes, I love it. I love it. Well, you know
Thank
what?
you.
That's the thing though. Just think about that, you guys, when you're thinking about your day and your week. If you actually just take a moment to pause and think of last week. When did you ask for a referral? During the week, think about it. Did you do it at your meeting? Did you do it at your team meeting? Did you do it at a training? Did you do it when you were coaching an agent? How many did you ask for? Because that's going to be in direct proportion to how many you got. And yet most of us need to be reminded to think of and go after referrals because we're so focused. We're so focused on, like Anna with her calendar, just staying on track and not getting distracted. But think about it. If you're not asking, you're not going to get. And when you ask, sometimes you need to help them know what to even say or what they might text or what they would even do to have that conversation. So when they say they want to help and they're on your ALC, but they're not giving you names and numbers, it's typically because they just don't know what to do. You know, they don't know exactly what to say or how do I bring that up? And so it's really smart to like just kind of share with them what they might do to help you connect. Carlos, I see your hand is raised. I'd love to bring you in. There you
Hi,
go.
Jessica. How are you?
Great. Good to see you.
Great. What I do with my ALC members is have a plan for the next year or so. They have to at least have 15 sponsors or sponsorships on his first line. Okay. So my strategy is like trying to teach them all the recruiting first, speech, in order to, when they have a meeting or when they have a collaboration with another agent that they want to have as a partner, have this first speech. So how they can talk to them, to introduce to myself as a team
Like
leader.
their elevator, it's like
Yes.
their elevator speech, like what they say.
Right.
So what?
Yes.
So pretend I'm on your ALC. What do you tell me to do?
All right. So Jessica, you're one of my LC members. I want you to have 15 people in your first line of brochure because this is your passive income and you deserve that. So I'm gonna help you with that. How many people do you know in the market in our city that they are good enough to be your partners at the office, be your friends and your teammates as well, because you work as a corporation here. So give me a list and let's make a strategy to try to attract them, to our market center. And what we do
I
is
love
like they
that.
have this little speech, they have to learn this little speech, like, you know what, you're a good agent, you're one of the good people that I like to work with more, By the way, do you know my team leader? Do you want to have a meeting with him? Do you know how do we work? Here's his number, or I will pass him your number. He will give you a call or something to arrange a meeting, have a coffee. This is not a recruitment or anything. Just we want to meet the best people in our city and keep talking about and start to build up a relationship.
I love that. You
Wait.
know what, Carlos? I did a very similar thing with my ALC every year. I put the strategy in the chat and it was them identifying their top 20, like the top 20 agents, their
Yeah,
friends.
they
that
need to
if-
have a list of 15, 20
Yeah.
people or maybe 25, the best ones that they have. Give me a list of them. And let's sit down as let's see all these people, which company they work for. How do you meet him? If it's like a corporation with buyers or sellers, or if you meet him in a MLS
whatever
meeting,
event.
or
Yeah,
BNI
whatever
or
event
whatever.
you have, right? Anything good. So
Give
let
me
me
a
ask
list
you
of
this.
15, 20 people.
So say I'm on your ALC, I'm totally into this. I am agreeing to do this. I identify like 15 people that I'm really
Yes.
pretty good friends with. And then like, they don't really want to meet with you yet. So then do I invite them to things? Like, what do I do as the agent, or what do you ask me to do to keep it going?
Okay, if they don't want to meet with me yet, they have a strategy to keep having this touches campaign, send him some relevant information, inviting for a mobile event here in the market center, or
So
invite them
invitation calls, and you're sending out value items.
12
Perfect.
touches.
Love it.
12 touches, or 8 times 8. They are ready for it. Let's make a smart plan and keep adding value for them. If it's a consultancy strategy.
You're just
or
warming them
consultancy.
up and reeling them in, right?
I mean, some of the people, they might be in a very positive present because a lot of transactions happened the last couple of years in Spain. However, times changes and we need to be ready for it. What is our
I love it.
strategy? Keep waiting for them. Also start talking with them to added value. And I haven't or I giving some free consultancy for all these agents, even though they are in different agencies, because I know some of this one day or another, they will have this negative presence. So they might have to think about some different changes. And if they see
Right.
value, they will come to us.
Well, that coincides great with a script that I'm going to share with you guys that we just did at a training yesterday. That works just with what Carlos is saying. And there's 2 of them. The first one is, and you could do a text, or this could be a call, or this could be an email message, WhatsApp, whatever. But say Carlos is my friend in the business and he's at Remax. I'm going to text him and say, with the uncertainty in the market, or with the difficult market, most agents have a backup brokerage in mind. You should check out my office and meet with my business coach. Can I set that up? So it's a very direct ask. That's the second one on the chat that I gave, but that's a really good one. And yet, you know, sometimes you got to give your ALC that much information for them to go do it. You know, you've got to be like, here's an example of what you could send, or here's the information on the class I'd like you to invite them to. You've got to make it that easy, don't you, Carlos? That's kind of the key, I think. Awesome. That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that.
No problem. Anytime.
You know, all of us get better to, you know, from learning from each other. And Alex, you make a great question. You say, who gives their agents financial incentive for referrals? Does anyone do that? I know of some offices that do, so I'm just curious if anyone does that. I can share some examples of what I've seen others do if you want me to, Alex. But I first would rather
we actually do, but I guess I was wondering how many other countries do that and how much makes it worthwhile, because we actually offer £1,000 off of an agent's cap in that year of production, and still they don't necessarily remember the value of that. So I know it's for us to keep reminding them, but I just wondered whether there were any sort of other people who were offering significant financial reward other than obviously growth share.
I just Googled, that's $1,306 in the US. That's pretty good.
That's a lot of money.
That's pretty good, Alex.
What we do, sorry, Jessica, what we do is I just did it once, but we offered like the monthly fee, but it's only $50. I mean, it's not that much. But I made a contest who brought more referrals, and we gave out a monthly fee for free, but not that much.
You know what, I'm curious, because that's a lot of money. I mean, you think about it, I think that's a good amount of money. I don't think you're not offering enough, because that's a lot of money. And I'm curious if they know how to.
Yes, I mean, definitely it's literally an introduction to me. But I would say that would be enough money. So it's interesting to hear that is high according to everyone on the call.
It's high compared to the things I've seen people do in the US as well. So I think you're definitely offering a bit of money. But the thing I question, Alex, if I was in your shoes and I had this offering and no one was taking it, but they seemed interested, I bet you they don't know how. So, you know, kind of how Carlos from Spain was saying, how he sits down with their list and kind of brainstorms, like, how can we get in front of this person? That might be the gap, but I'm not sure. I'm curious what Yesem has to say. Let's bring you into the conversation. What are your thoughts?
Yes, we have made almost at least it is something like that. It was this year, in the beginning of the year, we said that if they bring our 2 referrals, they will get office fee discount, which is $23, less than $20 like yours. But I made one more step after that. And we said that we are going to give for the cap 5% discount if this referral becomes a recruit. And then I found out that they have a lot of friends outside that they are sharing the business and doing business from the other companies as well, but they refrain to call them and ask them to come to here. So I just said that I can help you. If you want to give me your lists of your friends outside, I can call them up and refer your name to them. And then I can make appointments. And if they are recruited, then we can say that it's your referral so that you will be entitled. You can redeem this 5% off. This really worked very well for me. They have given me lots of lists, I must say, and I really have still some names that I couldn't end it up. And I really having a lot of R2 appointments at the moment. This really works well. I will suggest you to go for it if you can, if it's possible for your consultants. Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Thank
really
you.
smart. That's really smart. Well,
Let's
and in the US, they have what's called disappearing cap.
Mm-hmm.
which is tied to R2s only, where you diminish their cap, which is these are all very similar. It's different ways of how it affects the bottom line and your profit. But it's incentivizing, it's making referrals very top of mind to someone money motivated. So I love what you're doing, because that might be the dot you need to connect Alex with those. And so it'd be fun for you to kind of make a list of who those people are and actually go to them and have a meeting with them. Don't wait for them to come or do it again. Just approach them and say, you know, you're so influential. I'd love to help you here. And yet, how do we work? Like, here's another idea I have, or maybe this would work. So I can help you with this, you know. But I would connect that dot. I'd figure out where your disconnection is, because I think, yes, you've figured that out. You're just saying, I can take it from here if you help me get it started, right? Very good. Love it. So Alex, what are you getting from what you're getting out of this call today? I'm curious, because you're getting feedback about, wow, that's a lot of money. Tell us what you're thinking.
Yeah, again, it comes back to doing sort of the hard work for the agent again, but perhaps these one-on-one calls more important. My OP takes a lot of our top 20%, but maybe between her and I, we need to sit down and have a bit more of a strategy conversation, like Carlos explained, around growth share and sort of what benefits the agent. So I'll definitely speak to Tanya, my OP, on that, and try to just get the lists and do the heavy lifting for the agent, I guess.
Well, just one thing to think about, though, just as an aside, is often like in my market center in Clearwater, most of my top 20% have a MAPS coach. So they didn't need the team leader coaching as much, but I still kept the meeting because we talked about the talent they needed for their team or business, because they were always looking for talent. So my conversation to them, Alex, wasn't about like their P&L or GPS or what do you need in your business, or it was more like just people and talent. And I'd ask them like, okay, who do you want to steal for your team? Who have you guys interacted that's an amazing transaction coordinator for another team, or an amazing agent on another team that you wished was on yours? Who are we going for? And so I would work that approach with them. So it was a little different. So yeah, they may have coached with the OP, but they can still meet with you, you know, as a thought, just like most of my agents that were at that level were coaching with MAPS. Well, I still kept my coaching slot for them, even though they already had a coach, because we talked about that. And I'm looking for a very specific, here it is. This is the actual conversation with a rainmaker that I might have in that meeting. I'm going to put it in the chat. So Alex, you know, you guys are out and about in the industry. You guys are doing more transactions than most every month. Who is a superstar in the field that you guys would like to have on your team? Who comes to mind? Can I call them on your behalf? You know, what's something nice that you could say about them that I could say about you? Could you help me make this introduction? So I'm going to maybe approach it a little bit different, Alex. And that's just an idea for you with those folks that might already be kind of already coaching with your OP and not really needing to meet with you. And yet, why would they want to meet with you? Because they're always looking for something, right? They're always. So just an idea.
Great idea. Thank you.
So many good ideas today. Thank you guys for sharing. And this is how we all get better. I love it. I love it. I love it. Any other topics anyone want to bring up specific to, since we're on referrals still, referrals yet? Does anyone track their referrals? I did. I needed at least 5 a week to make it. So I was most focused about filling that checklist before cold calling 50 people to try to do it by myself. So I would always revert back to, how am I doing on my referrals? And my coach had to remind me to ask all the time. It does not come natural necessarily. So I want you guys to know, if you struggle with this, it's normal. And the better you get at building a system around this and a routine and a rhythm around this, the better you're off. So you're, food for thought. Carlos, what can you share with us?
Hi, Jessica. Just a quick thing that I talked about with my OP the other day. We arrived to the conclusion. I don't know in the US in your market centers, when you have a cooperation with another agent. Let's see if you have an agent in your market center that he has or she has a listing. They call directly. If another agent wants to bring a buyer to your property, they might give you a call straight away to the agent, or they call the office. So we have a plan here in the office that through my MCA, all the telephone calls from agents asking for a referral for an agent, to show a property, they have to pass through the team leader. So they have to pass all either from the MCA or either from myself. So all the agents in the area have to call for a corporation. They have to go through the MCA or the team leader.
Very
Also
smart.
asking some references from other agents. Maybe one of the LC members, they know these guys, for all these agents. And they might have some ideas about, this is a good person. He's a good agent. He could be a part of us, How about?
But you know what you did there, Carlos, that I want to feature is you have a system that includes your MCA. It's not all you, right?
Not all
You're
only me.
engaging your team.
That's right.
So just food for thought, you guys. This is not a one-man band here. You're not on.
Imagine a Remax agent call our office to get a visit with buyers from a listing from us, right? So the MCA get that message, get the number of the agent. So I call the agent, giving sometimes time to visit with the agent, and also ask all the agents in my center, especially my LC, if they know this guy. Set a meeting, or at least give them a call. Hey, you got my team leader for a visit. How are you? Oh, you're a good agent, and he will be happy to have a coffee with you anytime. So,
Love it.
A chance to have a meeting with them.
So Jesse, you're first. What was your comment or question? Oh, you're muted. There you go.
Hi, sorry, I struggled to unmute. Hi
It's all
everyone,
good.
I'm Jessie
Hey.
from South Africa, Port Elizabeth. So last week I did something just out of like pure desperation because I'm not getting my agents to send me referrals. So I just sent a message on our WhatsApp group and I said, look, I've got 5 gifts that I want to give to the first 5 agents that sends me a referral. And within half an hour, I had 12 referrals in my inbox. They didn't know what the gift was. I didn't specify the gift. And I ended up just giving each of them a slab chocolate with a thank you note, thank you for your referral. And that was my gift. But it took off, and I mean, begging them, we giving free business costs off on a month for a referral. We've tried everything. And I just said, I've got 5 gifts, I need referrals. And I had 12 referrals within half an hour in my inbox.
Well, just
So, yeah,
remember,
that worked.
a lot of people are very recognition based. They really are, and competitive. So contests and treats work, but you've got to keep reinventing yourself, Jesse. So just know it's a system. It's always putting yourself out there. So I'm so grateful that you didn't give up on it. And yet make sure you make it a big deal for those folks and thank them publicly, because those that didn't, that are into helping and into winning and competing and showing up and showing off, their competitive juices will start flowing and it'll become more of a thing in your office. You're not going to get everyone to do it, but just focus on those 12 that did, and that'll grow. Don't worry about the ones that didn't. Worry about the 12 that did. So good for you. And it's amazing what people will do for chocolate, right? You got to keep us up to speed on how you do with those. So congratulations. Janine from Jamaica.
Hi, good morning, Jessica. And morning, everybody. All right, so in Jamaica, it's a little bit different in terms of our recruiting. So it's really easy for me. I get a lot of referrals. I think that's basically what, my system is really based on. And what I do to manage it is I've created a Google Calendar that they can just book a time slot that they can have an interview with me. So I give my calendar out, my link out to the agents in our bulletin groups, or they just say, hey, John, I have somebody I'd like to refer. What's the best way for them to get to connect with you? And I always share my calendar. I say once they're in my calendar, it's an interview. So right now I have my calendar is pretty much booked. I have to limit it, right? Because our goal for the month is not so huge. We have 337 agents. So we're just trying to now systematize and structure everything now. But basically it's booked out to December, basically, for interviews for myself. And I'm actually
Okay,
going to
so
have to
how
open
did you
up.
get that going? Okay, everyone wants to know, how did you get that going? Because you're like a unicorn right now to us. So tell us, how do you make this happen, Janine? How do you make it so popular for your agents to give referrals? Is it just something that has grown to a culture?
I think the culture is something that they boast about. The energy in the office is something that they want other persons to experience, and the training, the tools, everything. They want their colleagues and friends come new into real estate, other persons, R2s, whoever coming over, they want them to get that same experience. So it's easy for them to share. So basically the support system from the agents is really amazing. And then not only that, so when I meet with them and explain the referral system, like even this month alone, I got about 10 referrals from a new agent who hasn't even joined us yet. Right?
Wow.
So they are, I think the school that just completed their course, they did like over 300 persons that graduated or completed a course, passed with a course. And so I kept getting all of these referrals, and when I checked to see who referred them, because that's one of the questions I asked when they are booking their time with me, who referred them, I keep seeing names that are persons out there, that are just so excited also about joining because of what they've learned. So that's another strategy, that can be used. Yeah.
Well, what you do in Jamaica, though, is you guys really deliver Keller Williams. You really deliver all the value props at a very high level. And this is the result. The result is people being excited about what you guys are doing and what you're about, and they want to share it with their friends. And so you've got referrals to an organic level, Janine. And Alex, we're going to manifest that for you in the UK for sure. This year, by the end of the year, you're going to be like that. And yet, Janine, you took the reins a couple years ago. Is there any advice you'd give to someone that maybe doesn't get a lot of referrals right now? They just, aren't sending them, don't know how to send them or whatever. Is there any advice you'd give to maybe helping them get on that path?
I would say work with your ALC first. That's one of the things that I had initially used, was to go in and just let them see the importance and the buy-in in making those referrals, but then also sharing what the value proposition is in having their friends, their colleagues join, and the benefits they would get. And I think just from the experience, what they receive here, they're excited about just sharing it. So I would say additionally is to just create that culture that your agents are going to love, to be a part of, and then want other people to join in and experience that great culture also.
Awesome. You guys have created an infectious, awesome culture in Jamaica, and now you're reaping the rewards of it. So I'm so happy for you. That's so cool.
Thanks, Jessica.
Anyone have any questions for Janine? Carlos has a great question about the contest, so we'll end up on that since we only have a few minutes left. The contest is rolling, and for those of you that did not report your numbers in but want to get back in, we'll send you an email. You can click on the link, put your numbers in, and they will magically appear in the tracker. So if you didn't do last week's numbers but you want to get out of jail card to put them in, we'll let you. Everyone can play. And like we have the most fabulous prizes for you for September. And it's really about just creating energy for you guys to finish strong. Right now, just so you're aware, last month we kind of did not rock it. We are 800 appointments behind last month alone. And I know August is tough, especially in Europe, for being very much a vacation month, but this is our month to double down and get back on track. And you guys all know September is a great time to do that for the most part for all of you. It's the beginning of recruiting season for most every one of us all around the globe. So take what you're learning from today and implement something. You know, you all deserve referrals. You all create an environment that is worth referring to. And yet, if we don't put ourselves out there and ask and eventually develop a system around it, it's not really all that sustainable. So it's a choice. It's you following the model, basically, as an MREA that is by referral. And yet, let's connect the dots for you. If you have something unique going in your country, like Alex does, or some of you may have, you know, ask questions on that. We have office hours tomorrow morning. We could dive into that more if you guys want. Whatever you guys bring up, we'll talk about. And yet, go all in, because we're here for each other. And this is the time of the year and the market to do it in. So I hope you all got something really wonderful from today. Thank you for being here. And if you have any questions or need any clarifications on the contest, just reach out or WhatsApp us and we'll get back to you. Have a powerful day. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.